what's outside versus what's inside. Hello everybody, hope you guys are keeping well and blessed. It is so good to be with you guys again. Normally, how often, just ask yourself this question, how often do you get asked about your outward appearance? Or how often do you yourself worry about how you look on the outside? For me, normally it's a case of where I know what I like to be on the outside, how I like to dress, how I like to be, how I like to present myself. I feel like, it's an important fact to carry yourself well. I like certain accessories. I like to wear jewelry, I like to wear rings, I like to wear a watch, I like to wear a necklace, I generally like to look the best way that I can. But what's nice for me can be like, oh, why is he dressed that way for somebody else? I was not recently, 2 years ago, 2022, I was asked by somebody, I was told by somebody, wow, you look good, but you don't look like how your character is. And I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? He says to me, no, I mean the chain, the jewelry, the whatever, but you seem like you're a very chilled, what person. And I say to him, well, but how I look on the outside shouldn't feature how I look on the inside, if that makes sense. How I appear on the outside can be different to how I appear on the inside. Maybe if I look a certain way like this, I look like some kind of hip-hop guy, I don't know. But generally, I like to carry myself and present myself in a dignified manner. But normally that's something that people tend to mix and put together. How you are people tend to define you, how you are on the outside, but then they judge you either for what's on the outside or what's on the inside, right? And I thought to myself, should what is outside really matter, even in physical appearance? Maybe it doesn't have to be clothes, it doesn't have to be accessories. Maybe it's your height, maybe it's your skin tone, maybe it's the way you talk. Should that define how you look, how you are as a person, how you appear? Look at this. Case in point, in the Bible, we have David. This is not a conclusive fact, but when the prophet Samuel visited the house of David's father, Jesse, David's father brought 7 sons to present before Samuel. But Samuel didn't want any of the 7. He asked Jesse, do you have any other sons? And Jesse said, yes, I have one, but he's he's the youngest. He's out in the field. God wanted the unchosen one by man. God chose David, even though Jesse, David's father, didn't initially think that he was good enough, but still God wanted David. We've got Saul. Saul was, we are told in the Bible, Saul was a head taller than everybody else around him. But God still said, I want Saul to be king. Despite his height, despite Saul's height, despite David's shortness, despite Zacchaeus in the Bible being so short, and there's so many other characters who can be defined by structure. But God didn't look at the structure of these people. God looked at the heart. God looked at Saul's heart at the time. God looked at David's heart and said that I choose him. There's even Moses, before I forget. Moses couldn't speak, he couldn't talk in public. He had to have his brother Aaron come speak for him when he spoke to Pharaoh. But God still chose Moses. See, God doesn't look at how you are on the outside, your mannerisms, the way you talk, the way you appear, the way you dress, the amount of accessories that you have, the amount of cologne that you put on, the amount of times you take a bath. All those things are fine and good, fair and fine, but God isn't looking at that. God is looking at what's inside, which comes to the point of my video. What's inside should surpass what's outside. What is inside should always surpass versus what is on the outside. Case in fact, it has to be that way. Because what is outside doesn't matter. Beauty, handsomeness, whatever, it all fades. But God looks inward. God will look at your heart and see that, are you worthy? Are you this? Are you that? That's what counts. So be upstanding in character. Be right in doing what is right and wrong. Be sincere and pure of heart. Because that, at the end of the day, is what matters. There are so many other biblical examples I could have spoken about. They could have been Martha. They could have been, I spoke about Moses, I spoke about David, I spoke about Saul. I could have spoken about Joseph, son of Jacob. I could have spoken about Jacob himself. I could have spoken about Jacob's brother Esau. But if you look at all of their physical attributes, God didn't look at that. God looked inward. Make sure your inward is as pure. If you like to dress well, if you like to look well, if you like to look a certain way, happy days. That is great. But make sure that how nice you present yourself on the outside is what matches the inside. You don't want to look and see that, wow, this person is so, wow, smells great, looks good, keeps fit, does whatever. But you are as rotten as a raw egg or as a raw apple on the inside. Make sure your inside is superior, is more.